as a portable version of the famous Apex Legends, there was some skepticism surrounding launch. Mobile gaming often has a very negative reputation, marred by microtransactions and simple mechanics. With so much hype surrounding the game, a lot of players may be wondering, is Apex Legends Mobile worth it? Before we go into the video, we have our question of the day. Are you guys primarily PC gamers or mobile gamers? Leave your answers down in the comments below. Long story short, Apex Legends Mobile is free to play and fantastic. Definitely worth it for those who aren't against mobile gaming. But to start off, Apex Legends Mobile is incredibly fun and well made. Depending on the device players utilize, the graphics look superb and the frame rates impress. Most of the core mechanics from the PC counterpart were very well integrated, creating a complex yet not overly daunting mobile port. For those unfamiliar with mobile gaming, they may find themselves fumbling with the controls alongside mechanics. But fret not, the controls function wonderfully as a whole. They have a lot of customization features with the control schematics, so much that it's a little frightening. Therefore, comfort and hand positioning is purely up to the player. Simply set the positioning, sizing, and opacity to one's own tastes. Even the graphics and frame rates are incredibly customizable, allowing for lower-end devices to process the game. The biggest question here is whether Apex Legends Mobile is better than its PC counterpart. As a whole, the PC version is definitely more fleshed out. After all, it's had years to develop now and grow. But Apex Legends Mobile is still worth playing, especially for those daunted by the mouse and keyboard aiming system. There's such a huge learning curve that many players cannot overcome when it comes to using a mouse and keyboard for shooter games. And since Apex Legends is cross-platform, even controller players often find themselves outclassed by simpler hardware. Meanwhile, for Apex Legends Mobile, playing field is far more fair as a whole. Yeah, there are stronger devices, but nobody is using, or actually not nobody, some people are using controllers, but that's actually less optimal than touchscreen. Nobody uses a mouse and keyboard, and that is a huge factor in the playability of Apex Legends Mobile. The bottom line for whether Apex Legends Mobile is worth playing for already committed Apex Legends players is dependent on whether they're okay with mobile gaming. A lot of consoles and PC gamers hate the idea of mobile gaming, so it might not be for them. But for those open to innovation, desiring a fresh feeling of Apex Legends, the mobile port definitely delivers. New players. As a whole, Apex Legends is super intimidating to get into nowadays. I'm talking about the PC version. Everyone has already become so good and the learning curve is pretty damn high for a competitive battle royale. This makes improving and just getting better at the game pretty difficult. After all, it's hard to learn when one mistake often just leads to death. This is often the case for cross-platform battle royales nowadays, making the experience really tedious for newcomers. Best thing about Apex Legends Mobile is that so many people are still learning the game. It's brand new, therefore a lot of players don't even understand how Apex Legends works. Okay, this doesn't mean that players won't be punished. A battle royale is competitive by nature, but for new players, it's rather easy to improve with a little bit of practice. Progression system. This is where it gets a little bit controversial, because if you want to progress in the rank system, it's not pay to win at all. You can just grind the game, you'll be perfectly fine if you're just good. But then when it comes to missions and certain battle pass rewards, that's when it gets pretty tedious. I won't mention the details here because that can be an entire separate video on its own, but if you look at Reddit, you'll see a ton of people complaining about it. But in terms of the rank system, it's not pay to win whatsoever. The game is all skill, requiring fast thinking and mechanical prowess to emerge victorious. And in addition, almost every legend is available by just playing the game, whether it's leveling the player profile, completing battle pass missions, or even logging on daily. Apex Legends Mobile is very generous when it comes to providing players new characters. In conclusion, Apex Legends Mobile is a phenomenal game. The delayed release took players off guard, but it's clear why they needed more time. After all good things do require time. As a whole, Apex Legends Mobile is an absolute beast of a mobile game, creating a new level of mobile gaming. Apex Legends Mobile receives the Gamehouse's seal of approval, so when asking whether or not Apex Legends Mobile is worth it or not, it highly likely is. Unless the reader just absolutely hates mobile gaming, then there's a completely separate issue of its own. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe and like the video for more coverage. Also, be sure to check out the link in the description below to check out the phenomenal player that is present within the gameplay.